This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Well, he finally did it. President Biden actually mentioned Tesla. He did it during a speech on domestic car manufacturing yesterday, and the president was quite complimentary. He praised Tesla for its EV investments in America and singled it out for being, quote, our nation's largest electrical vehicle manufacturer. It's the first time Biden has ever let the word Tesla come out of his mouth, at least in public. Many people think that's because Tesla and Elon Musk are rather anti-union, that and the fact that Elon has insulted the president on several occasions. But Mr. Musk was pleased with yesterday's remarks and replied to the president's speech on Twitter with a smiley face emoji. Speaking of Tesla, we discovered this little nugget while going through its latest financial earnings. You might call it an Easter egg in the annual report. This picture shows assembly line workers at the plant in Texas attaching seats to the top of the battery pack for Model Ys. Let that sink in for a sec. The battery pack is a structural member and is installed from underneath the car. So if the seats are on top of it, they go in the car up through a hole where the floor pan would be. That likely means the battery pack includes the floor pan, the carpeting, the seats, and the center console. And nobody in the history of the industry has ever assembled a car this way. But there's a lot of advantages. Traditional seat installation can involve complicated machinery that has to twist and turn to get the seats through the door openings. That takes finesse, or you could end up with scrapes and scratches, and that adds assembly time. The way it looks like Tesla is doing it, you just slap the carpet down, plop the seats in place, drop in the console, bolt it all down, and you're done. Clever assembly techniques like this help explain why Tesla continues to boost its productivity. If you've got a Hyundai or Kia, you may not want to park it in your garage. And in this case, it has nothing to do with electric cars. Hyundai, Kia, and Nitsa are urging 484,000 owners in the U.S. to park their vehicles outside and away from any other vehicles because of engine fire risks. A hydraulic electronic control unit can malfunction, causing a short that could result in the engine catching fire, even if it's turned off. This includes the Kia Sportage and K900, as well as the Hyundai Tucson, Santa Fe Sport, and Santa Fe XL, which were built mostly from 2014 to 2019. Fortunately, it is an easy fix. Dealers just have to install a new fuse for the circuit.
Mobility is becoming electric, connected, and autonomous, just like the manufacturing world. But will always be one thing: a reliable partner for our customers.
The European Union wants to stop sales of new cars with IC engines by 2035. But if it wants people to buy EVs, it needs to significantly boost the number of charging locations. According to Ernst & Young and Eurelectric, a group that represents the electricity industry, Europe will need 65 million EV chargers to handle the 130 million EVs it expects to be on the road by 2035. That includes 9 million public chargers and 56 million residential ones. So far, there's only 374,000 public chargers, and 2/3 of them are in just 5 countries. The researchers say 500,000 chargers need to be installed every year through 2030, and then that needs to ramp up to 1 million a year. On top of that, to handle the increase of electricity use, the report recommends that countries adopt smart charging solutions to handle the demand. It may be late to the party, but it may arrive as the best dressed. Ram announced it will come out with a battery electric version of its 1500 pickup in 2024. But that means it will not hit the market until years after Ford, Chevrolet, Rivian, and others have their electric trucks on sale. There's not a lot of details about the Ram EV, But as you can see in this teaser picture, it features a body-on-frame setup with a battery pack mounted between the frame rails. Ram's also launching a website, ramrevolution.com, that provides consumers with updates, unique visuals and content, and even the chance to provide input as the truck is developed. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares says they'll be able to watch what their competitors come out with and design something better. But that's just a way of spinning the fact that they're way behind the competition. Meanwhile, General Motors is stepping on the gas, so to speak. It's going to significantly ramp up production of its electric trucks and the Cadillac Lyriq. CEO Mary Barra says they're going to make a total of 400,000 EVs this year and next. This year, production is going up more than 6 times what it originally announced. GM was going to build 7,000 of them this year. Now it will make 46,000. And that means that next year it ramps up to 354,000 electric trucks and SUVs. The all-new Kia Sportage debuted last year, and now details are pouring in about the plug-in hybrid version, which goes on sale in the third quarter in the US. It comes standard with a 1.6-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine, like the Sportage hybrid, but the PHEV has a more powerful motor, 67 kilowatts versus 44 kilowatts. It also has a larger 13.8 kilowatt-hour battery pack, which Kia hopes will deliver a range of 32 miles or 51 kilometers. No word yet on the pricing.
We want to know what drives your testing. OTA, connected car, diagnostics, remote testing. Intrepid Control Systems is here to help you work from anywhere. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Engineers from MIT have developed a new polymer material that was once thought impossible to make, and it could have future applications in the auto industry. Polymers have always formed spaghetti-like molecules, but the new material is a 2D polymer that self-assembles into discs that are then stacked on top of each other. This creates a material that is stronger than steel, lighter than plastic, and permeable to gas or water, and can be mass-produced. MIT says it could be used as a coating to protect metal in vehicles, or really any place where a high strength-to-weight ratio is important. Removable roof panels provide an awesome open-ear feeling, but they're not all that great if you don't have a place to store them. So GMC engineers decided to use the Hummer EV's Frunk. Each panel easily unlocks and slides up and away from the vehicle. They're individually numbered, which is the order you stack them in. And then there's a cover and straps to help keep them safe. The front I-beam can also be removed with a supplied wrench and socket, and that can be stored under the rear seat. And when you're ready to put it all back together, there's a little diagram showing where each panel goes on the truck. Ford did something similar when designing the new Bronco to get a leg up on the Wrangler, which doesn't have an in-car spot specific for roof panel storage. And Chevy has also done the same thing with the last few generations of Corvette. Have you ever wanted to drive like an absolute bat out of hell on your favorite streets around your city? I know I have, but fear of law enforcement and injury always prevents that. Well, sometime in the future, you will be able to, thanks to Porsche. It partnered with a Swiss startup to develop the Virtual Roads project, which uses a smartphone to record a route, software converts it into a 3D environment, and then you can go racing. They say it takes less than an hour to digitize an 8-kilometer or roughly 5-mile route. It's compatible with a number of racing games, and they're working on incorporating actual data from the vehicle as well. Unfortunately, no word yet on when you'll be able to get it. But that's a wrap for today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be right back here again tomorrow.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. And by Scheffler, we pioneer motion.